All right, good evening, everybody. Get ready to get things on the roll here. I'm going to learn how to properly drift on the Seversky Donets River tonight. I watched a few videos on it, and I know it's not as great of a strategy as it used to be initially. It's not as productive as just trolling or feeder fishing, but always interested in trying something new on here. So I've got a few rods set up for it. I'm going to do 2 rods out there for boat holders. One will be using a spinner. One will be using a jig, which is going to be the Red Man Tackles Quicker. And then the last one will be a little Balinese float, which I'll start with worms. We'll try some different baits as we go down the river. One of the biggest weaknesses I have right now is I don't really have any good medium light rods, unfortunately, which is, I know, the best thing to use out here for this, but we'll make do with what we've got. So I'll start by heading up here to the start of the river, and we'll just let it take us on downstream. I hope everybody is having a good summer weekend, having some good weather and all that good stuff. This boat is painfully slow, but from what I understand, this boat is better for drifting than the rubber inflatable one is. I don't know what the exact difference for it is, but I'll go with what people have said. And if anybody has any tips for this drifting strategy, I am all ears, because I am basically learning as I go on here. Let's see, just to save everybody's ears a little bit, I'm going to see if I can mute it while we go through all this on here. There we go. I think that'll get rid of the... Yeah, there we go. Go ahead and dull the engine noise of the boat while I work the way down to the front of the river. I wish there was a way to do the boat audio just off for the motor while everything else is on, because it is not very stream friendly. Anybody else doing any fishing on here tonight? I know some people have been having some luck getting halibut and shark out at the Norwegian Sea this week, which is always exciting. Go around the bend here. And a little ways up ahead, we'll turn the boat around and start the drifting. I'll go ahead and turn the volume back on once we get up there as well. That way we can hear the reels and everything when they're doing their thing. Okay, so those buoys look like they're going to be the end of the area we can traverse. So I'll go ahead and start getting this looped around here. Get a little back action too. All right, so I guess we will probably want to like try to position in the center of the river so we can stick to some of the deeper holes as it drifts. Get it pointed straight down the river. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn the volume back on, and then we'll get the lines in the water. There we go. Okay, so I guess I need to turn the engine off, and is it? Yep, it's drifting. So we'll go ahead and get the spinner bait out. I guess I'll put it at like a, since we're drifting, I don't want to be super close to the boat, so I'm going to do like a clip of 22. Normally I stick around 12 to 14 if I'm trolling, but these are going to be moving so slow that I don't want super close to the boat. This one's going to be the quicker rig. And I don't have wacky worm rigs unlocked yet, so this is just on a basic 3-way rig, which I guess isn't ideal for out here, but again, gotta work with what we've got. Yeah, I don't know how efficient this is at nighttime for that matter, but gonna get this out. I don't really know. I guess I have this depth set at 1.5 meters. We're in a fairly deep section though, so I can probably raise that to 2. And I've got a size 14 hook on here. I'll see if I can put something a little bit bigger than that on here, because this Adriatic, I can handle some bigger fish. I guess I'll throw a size 6 carp hook on there, see what we can do. Throw a night crawler on as well. Since it's nighttime, maybe we'll get a carp or a catfish or something like that. This thrown out. So the biggest thing I found when I was testing this out before is that because of how long this bolo rod is, it's actually kind of pain to get something out. Thinking about this, I'm wondering if it would be better to have the back of the boat going downstream, so that way like our stuff's not floating back towards the boat. That seems like it would make more sense. We'll try this for a couple. Oh, looks like we got something on one of the lines now, so I'm going to reel that in. I'm going to go ahead and reposition this to go downstream from the backside, so it is going with the river a little instead of going towards the boat. All right, first fish of the night, little Pontic shad. All right. So let's go ahead and cast this back out and I'll get this turned around. That should do the trick. So now it's just a question of whether or not the current is going to pull the lures and bait quicker than it's pulling the boat. Not really a good way to tell, but we'll see if this works. Let's see, this seems like it's... Normally I would expect to see the drifting with current notification down there. There we go. Okay, so that seems to be working then. That being said, this line... Okay, so I guess having the boat facing, having the front downstream is why we need to do it, because the current is carrying the boat quicker than the lures. So that answers that question. Get this turned back around. Go. And I'm actually kind of tempted to try using pieces of fish while it's nighttime. There might be some burbot or something out here that'll pick up on it. And I assume if we are drifting that it's going to keep us from rocking up against the shoreline. Find out. I don't expect it to be super active at night. I know, and the things I was looking up, at nighttime you can go after like catfish and burbot here on the river, but that's mainly for feeder fishing from the bank. I don't think drifting is all that productive at night. But it does seem like we don't have to worry about repositioning. It looks like it will take us away from the shorelines, which is nice. I guess we just wait. It's not the certainly not the most efficient means of fishing. And I know trolling this river, just troll with a couple spinners. I can during the daytime I can catch stuff back to back. It's small fish that aren't worth much, but it's definitely a really good bite rate. So this is not the ideal or optimal way to play Seversky Donets, but if you're looking for something to just relax, and especially if you're just like if you have watch a movie or something you're watching in the background, this is a very nice, easy way of going about it that's not feeder fishing. So this polo rod, hopefully these fish are not, so I don't have fish on. Hopefully this is a pretty heavy buoy. Oh, appreciate that follow there, Hairman Pink. I got the pink hair for you. Voted the poll. Absolutely. Your vote was probably the deciding factor as well. It was pink won by 1 vote over green. So there you go. Doing a little relaxed drift fishing out here tonight and trying to learn how to do it really. I'll have to do another poll once this. I don't know how long this pink is going to last because it's washed out a decent bit already. It is. I've got permanents in there, so it'll last a while. But once it's faded enough that it's time for another change, I'll certainly do another poll. I think that was a lot of fun for everybody. So look forward to that. You can always vote pink again, though. I won't preclude it from being on the list just because it won last time. I don't think this boat is moving. I think I've lost the current. So get back towards the middle of the water here. Get this to a real speed of 50 as well. Apparently there's a plane in the game somewhere. Or a rocket. Am I stuck on here? Got stuck in the weeds. All right, get back towards the center here. There we go. All right, so maybe instead of trying to target larger fish with the bolo, I should just stick to some smaller ones and see if we can't get some bite rate on here. And that's I guess I need some more line to go slack first. Shallow area? Guess so. So we'll try lowering it to 1.5 meters again. Go. Nothing on these lines. I guess I'll just leave it slack until it's still touching bottom. Okay, so down to 1.25 meters maybe. All right, that seems to do the trick. Hey, gamer, how's it going? Been a while. Been getting any good fishing in now at the Norwegian Sea? And I'm out here just messing around with drifting on the Donets River. I know it's not as good as feeder fishing from the bank or even just trolling that regularly, but I wanted to give it a shot at least. I'm a little worried that this bolo bobber is too big though, because there's a lot of small fish that are going to be going after this. So I don't know if they're going to be able to even pull the bobber down. Hopefully it'll work though. And it's nighttime, so the bite rate I'm sure is just trash. But I figure I'll give it to about this bend here. If it's not picking anything up, I'll just do normal trolling the rest of the way. See, because I know trolling out here, I've had pretty good luck at getting at least a good bite rate. No big fish, but better than nothing. Okay, so this is not working well. Yeah, I've heard people have been getting a lot of halibut and shark this week out there, which is pretty cool. I tried doing a little bit of feeder fishing. Well, I tried a little bit of everything on the my first trip out here the other day. Did some feeder fishing from the bank, some trolling, some float fishing. I didn't have a ton of luck with the feeder fishing, but the trolling, I was getting an insane bite rate. I know one of the problems I have here, though, is that I don't have any good light or medium light rods, which I think are make a big difference on the drifting technique. But as long as it works, it works. This looks like it has something. Yep. So this one's got a little babby fish on there. Looks like a rough. Yep. First rough I've got out here. Yep, got the highest rated Model 1 as well. Got that, and I got this linear Bolo 7 meter, so the biggest Siberia linear Bolo rod. And hopefully my noise filter is working, but if not, if you hear a little bit of whirring in the background, it's that time of the week where everybody's doing all their yard work, so got some mowers running across the street. Hopefully my filter is keeping that from picking up on the mic. But I've got the spinner on the Model 1, and then on the S70 I have a three-way jig with a quicker plastic bait on it. And I know these are kind of way too strong setups for what I'm doing out here, but getting new setups was a little bit pricey since getting the Model 1 and that Bolo rod pretty much eliminated my funds, so. I'm not wholly sold on the Bolo drifting here. It's been spotted when I was doing some testing. It got something on line 1 there. It did catch some things, but it's just kind of awkward to tell if it's actually getting a fish on or not. There's a little perch. Yeah, that's what I heard, is that it's just kind of not anywhere near as good as it used to be, and I can certainly tell the difference between, like, if I was trolling right now with just running the motor, I'd probably be doing pretty decent, but it's something to try. Yes, it seems it's weird that they would nerf something that's kind of only really used on one body of water because it kind of, I guess that's probably why people don't even really bother with this river most of the time because its main draw got nerfed so hard. There's another perch. This three-way jig setup though, I don't think I've caught anything on it yet. So, I mean, it seems like the spinner's picking stuff up quite a bit. Yeah, float fishing I thought would be the main thing here, especially since that's what the map suggests. But, and I think what it is if you have like a match rod with live fish, because you can go after like the sturgeon and stuff like that. But yeah, let me try swapping to a lighter bobber here. And I guess since I'm just got the bolo rig, I can't really do that. But let's switch to a size 19 with the mayfly and see if that does something. Yeah, so the sitchel and stuff, when I was trolling with spinners, I was actually catching a lot of the shad, sitchel, pumpkin seed, all that stuff out here. It was just back to back to back to back, and it was really, really good bite rate. And I might, yeah, because like the spinner is still doing pretty well. So I may actually get rid of this three-ray wig and just put another spinner on there. Ooh, looks like we got a Xander on here. Volga Xander, very nice. And a spin fishing game to go with it. Very nice. That was a bad cast. And grab a little cucumber action here. Yeah, this three-ray rig, I guess just to be safe, let me try one other plastic bait to see if it gets something. And if it doesn't, I'll just switch this back to a, have two spinners out in the water. Do another quicker out there. Yes. Because the spinner is doing just fine with the bite rate, clearly. Here's a little pumpkin seed sunfish. And hopefully it won't drift us into the shoreline. See how this does. If I don't start getting something on this bolo setup, I'll just put, yep, there we go. That did the trick. Looks like a chub or something along those lines. Yep, little chub. Okay, so that worked. At least this rod, I think, is a little bit too big to be doing the drift technique, but ooh, got another one on the spinner. Another little Volgazander. It's interesting how the smaller ones are a really reddish tone to them. Yeah, this 3A rig is not doing anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and swap it to a lure spinner setup. Which, speaking of, got another one already on here. And there's a regular Xander. Good Xander bite rate through this section, at least. It is around between the 4 and 3 meter hole. All right, so let me change this setup here to use another spinner. Put the killer out there, I guess. See how it does. That blue snowflake is doing fantastic, that's for sure. I wish I had another one of those. Another sunfish. Back through the middle of the river here. Boy, that snowflake is just catching a fish every few seconds. Another Xander. Which it's nice that it's targeting Xander and Volga Xander, because that's one of the better XP fish you can get from this, I believe. All right. I think we've got something online too, but let's see if something hits on this first. All right, good. Get this reeled in and see what we've got on here. Looks like another pumpkin seed sunfish. I might have to actually recast that. I think it's a little too close to the boat there. Since the boat is all cockeyed and we're going sideways, it's a little bit awkward. All right, see what we can see if we can actually catch something on the bolo setup again before the spinners get active. But if you're out here targeting Xander, this area right in here seems to be really good right now. Yep. All right. I might just switch to a third spinner to put out there because it's such a great bite rate, and that bolo setup is kind of awkward to try to use between two spinner setups. Ooh, something with a little bit of girth to it, actually. There we go. Nice, almost 4 kilo chub and another spin fishing game. Very nice. This bite rate, it's just like all these fish are worth very little. Hopefully there'll be some cafe orders for them, but if I was on happy hour, this would probably be really good for spinner XP. Let's see, do I have another? I've got my ultralight set up. I can try throwing it on line 3, see what we can do. Using that bolo setup from this drifting, I don't think was very effective because the bite rate of the other rods was so active. I got something on line 1. I gotta cast this out a little bit further than I needed to. Go. Check the messages real quick. Oh, a hornet. All right, appreciate that. I'll give the hornet a shot. Let me reel these lines in, and I'll toss that on our 3rd line. See how it does. Another chub. It looks like small one. And yep, it's got something on as well. It's awkward with the boat being sideways, telling what's going on. A little sunfish. Can't even catch your breath between hits out here right now. There's a little shad. All right, so one of the viewers provided a lure, a hornet, so I'm going to give that a try. So it's got that blue backing on it, so it ought to perform hopefully similarly to the snowflake. Nice. that Snowflake has been good at Quarry as well. I have really good luck with it, so it'd be nice to have another blue spinner in my tackle options. I think I had a second one at one point, but a pike decided that it was more in my more fit in its belly. Ah, that was you, gamer. Okay, the old Billy. Was it Bye Bye Puppy Stealer? Okay, okay. So you're getting some Cruella de Vil action here. Very nice. Bill. It was Bill. Okay. It looked like all eyes for some reason on my screen. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Speaking of streaming platforms, there's that new one, Kick, that I was looking at last week to see what all the hubbub was about, and I had my doubts about it. And I suspect my doubts were confirmed because there's a almost kilo and a half asp. One of the big news breaks about it recently was the streamer that they offered a $70 million contract with $30 million of incentives. And it seems like he's already trying to get out of his contract, like he's intentionally violating DMCA, it seems like, so that they can cancel it. So it seems like there's not a lot of hope for the Kick platform. Ah, very nice. Now you can be incognito, and the old guys won't know it's you, right? So it's are you still in the M-Dog chat channel? I know you were out of it for a little while. So their terms of services, I don't even know that it's necessarily less strict. I think it's just more concise language. It seemed like when I was reading it over that a lot of it was still the same, but they were more concise about, whereas like Twitch has very vague terms of service that they can kind of use to enforce on whatever they want. It's not a case like, say, Rumble versus YouTube, where Rumble's practically like, if it's not explicitly illegal, it's allowed type of deal. But the biggest things on there that when all the news goes, I was like, okay, well, if it seems like a platform that will have a future getting on at the ground level, where you have a good chance for exposure early on to grow its early infancy audience, could be a good thing to do. So I was looking into it. It's like, yeah, if you have subscribers on there, it's a better rate split than Twitch has, but it's harder to get to where you can get subscribers. And really, I think the biggest difference with why I don't think it stands a chance as it is right now against Twitch is that it doesn't really bring anything different to the table compared to Twitch. In fact, like I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon ends up suing them, because the layout of Kick is pretty much identical to Kick. But what it doesn't have that Twitch does have is that Amazon Prime backing. So like, if you're streaming on Twitch, if you have even a small amount of viewers, there's a good chance they'll have Amazon Prime, so they may be able to throw you an Amazon Prime sub for free. So they're supporting your channel, but they're not having to pay money to do it. And that's a big deal. Whereas on Kick, you're going to have people literally pay money that they're not already paying for something else to support you. So you're going to have to it's going to be harder to get to where you can get subs, even if you can, even because to even reach what's they call it affiliate, but like it's with Twitch, affiliate's a much easier thing to reach, is where I'm at. What their requirements are to even get to that point where people can pay you is more along the lines of what it takes to get to Twitch partner. You have to have an average of 75 viewers and a whole bunch of followers and stuff like that. So it's harder to get to where you can get subscriptions, and that lack of Amazon Prime subscription options, I think, is just kind of the nail in the coffin, since it doesn't do anything different than Twitch really does. Getting a bunch of perch over here. Little tea. Sunfish. Yeah, definitely going to be sticking with Twitch. And even if Kick didn't have the issues I saw, it probably would have been something where like I'd stay on Twitch, but then sometimes do something on Kick. But as it is, I just don't even have any interest in it at all currently. I do want to start working towards making some recorded videos for YouTube and Rumble at some point that are more like guides and stuff like that, instead of just, right now I have a YouTube channel, but it's basically just a repository for the streams, the full streams I have. Yeah, I did notice that even like outside of Russian Fishing 4, even the large games on there, like Diablo 4, which has been getting like 150,000 viewers on Twitch, had like 4,000 viewers on there. And you know, they had that big news where, in addition to that XKC or whatever his name was, that they gave a big deal to, there was a lot of speculation that Amaranth had gotten a deal to go there, and I noticed that she was on there streaming for one day and then was back on Twitch. So kind of like the other guy, it seems like the big Twitch streamers probably saw the potential for 90-10 revenue splits and thought, oh, this could be a really good opportunity. And then when they started actually messing with it, I think they realized that it currently it's not doing anything different from Twitch, and as a result, Twitch is just better. Whereas like if you compare YouTube and Rumble has some different community features from YouTube and has more loose guidelines on what you can post and stuff. So so Rumble offers enough different from YouTube that it's actually gaining a lot of traction. Yeah, I'm right there with you, gamer. But if they were going to try to grow a platform by poaching a Twitch talent, she's definitely one of the ones that makes sense to go after from a business standpoint, because of the amount of followers she's got and the amount of publicity just her name being on anything has, really. I'm gonna up the retrieval speed on this. Yeah, I am in full agreement there. There's an I'd. Yep. You know what's weird to me? I was when I was out at dinner with some friends recently, I was talking about that subject of, you know, Twitch has their no nudity policy and stuff like that, but they have the entire, this is a decent wide, they have their entire hot tub category that they know does well. It's like, you know, if you're already pushing the boundary at that point, why not just create an account flagging to verify age and just allow adult channels? Because it's going to make you, from a business perspective, like, it seems like they have a lot more revenue potential that way. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, there's just, if you're coming on here, and it doesn't seem like, I've never watched her stream, so I could be wrong, but from clips I've seen that when she pops up from like memes and stuff, it doesn't seem like she engages with viewers either. So I'm like, well, if she's not providing like fun gameplay content, and she's not engaging with viewers, and at that point, it's like, why are so many people watching her? But to each their own, I guess. Not my cup of tea. Well, speaking of, I don't have any cup of tea out here tonight because I ended up having a lot of random stuff to do today, so didn't get a chance to make some. Yeah. There was a period of times, one of the Twitch analytics shows you like views you get from people that are watching other streamers' channels, and they I guess on the sidebar, they click in to watch your viewer from their channel. And for some reason, for the first few weeks, there was a sizable percentage of my viewers that were coming from Amaranth and Hot Tub Hotties. I said, what? Why are my videos showing up suggested there in the first place? Seems like this side of the river is not doing as well. I guess it's because it's a lot shallower. This deeper areas seem to be a lot more productive. I mean, it's still not as bad as like Volkov at night. Yeah. And get this cast back. I think that third line I'm going to actually set a much shorter clip on because reeling that in is a little bit slow. So this is another weird thing I've seen out here. It's just even more as one trolling is occasionally the lure, if it's got fish on it, will just come flying out of the water like that. It's kind of weird. All right, so let me set this down to like a 14-meter clip so I don't have to reel it in as fast if one of the other lines gets something on it. It's a shame we can't have a third rod holder on these boats. So we're getting close to another area that's going to be deep again, so hopefully this bite rate will pick back up to where it was on the other side. I think actually when I was testing everything last time, I think, yeah. Whoops, forgot to get rid of these. Aren't even big enough to turn into bait. Yeah, I guess I'll turn these two into bait. Forgot to sell those off last night. Whoops. Oh, I guess you can't turn stuff that's already gone to 0% into bait either. That's a shame. I've got one more Norway tour left, and my tentative plan is once I get around and I do that tour, I'll probably consider getting the unlimited option and just do some occasional like once a week streams there just from the shoreline because the boat's the boat's expensive, and B, getting the gear together to properly fish from the boat's going to be out of my current silver budget. But I can throw something together to fish from the shoreline and just sort of do some relaxed streams of doing that. And you better believe I'm going to put some salt resistant ball bearings on the Adriatica for that. All right. Hopefully this deeper section will have some more fish in it. Yeah, I might look at that. When I get out there, obviously when I do the third tour, I'll just use the rental. But once I get ready to start doing the limit stream, I'll definitely want to try some. Because I want to try shoreline fishing out there, anyways. But then, yeah, if I get to where I want to do like a boat stream out there with some tackle, I'll definitely see about borrowing that Tagara then. Hey, there's a Shamai. I think that's the first one of those I've caught, actually. Okay, nothing hitting on these yet. Nope. They're a rare one? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I've got, like, I was catching a lot of Sitchel, pumpkin seed, and shad when I was just actually trolling instead of drifting the other day. I did try going up here and doing some carp fishing, and I did catch a little grass carp pretty quickly, but then I hit a snag that, like one of those ghost snags you can't really get out of, and so I was like, okay, Not going back down there. I'll just do some trolling, avoid those snag issues. I almost wonder if this third line, if I do some like speed up reeling technique, if it might actually be a little bit more effective. A little Pontic Shad, something on line 1 as well. This boat's just rotating which way it wants to. There's a red. Did that go in the water? Guess it did. Never heard it splash. I'm gonna try doing some like speed up reeling on this third line. Cucumber action here. I imagine just doing like some spinning and jigging from the shore is probably decently effective as well. What we got on here right now? So we're still in the deeper area, so it's maybe just the holidays. Actually, this is also a much warmer body of water than a lot of them. This is almost 30 degrees. We got something on here. The lions are waking up here. There's a little asp. It's near Ukraine. Okay, so I guess a little more southern than the other bodies of water. That makes sense then. Haunted shed. Oh, thing's going wild. So do you know if the wheat and corn flour you can get from the mill here makes better ground bait than the store-bought stuff? Because it's more expensive than the store-bought stuff. All right, then we got another big chub on here. Nope, looks like a pike. First time I've caught a pike out here. 2.3 kilos, not too shabby. Someone did mention, because I was wondering about like the when I was looking at it, I was talking about the quarry cheese, where it's cheaper to buy cheese cubes than it is to buy the cheese and make it. But someone mentioned that the cheese there makes a better ground bait than uh, I guess other cheese options you can get. Here we go. I mean, this is on a very lightweight reel, so I'm not expecting anything monstrous here, but at least we got something fighting for once. Here's where drifting can be inferior to trolling. I don't really have a way to chase this fish. In retrospect, I probably should have used this ultralight on the rod holder. Yep. I've been so used to everything out here being tiny, I didn't even think to do that. I think we'll get this in though. Looks like there's stuff on the other lines now also. This is probably just like a 1.5 kilo pike or something. Yeah, it could be a decent chub. That's true. Go. Is it already given up the fight? Yeah, it's a shame you can't just like hot swap the line in your hands with one in the boat rod. All right, this thing's coming on in now. I think we got it. But I would definitely, after I reel this one in, make sure that this setup is in the rod holder. All right, what do we got? What do we got? You don't really like to come to the top of the water here. Just about got it in. I'm able to see it here. I think it might be an asp. Yeah, that's what it's looking like here. The 1 kilo asp. All that fight for that. Get these lines in now. Perch. On the plus side, with drifting compared to trolling, you don't have to deal with the boat noise. There's another asp. All right, now I'm going to put this one out and have it in the boat holder. There we go. Doing the smart thing here. The other advantage of drifting versus trolling is you don't have to keep an eye on where you're going. Like, just keeps you from running into shore usually. Got something on that line that's running away from the boat apparently. It's an active little sunfish there. All right, get this back out here. So we're going right along. Actually, drifting down the river a little quicker than I thought it would. Might actually try using the bolo out here since we're at a different side of the river, see if it's actually a little more effective out here. Right. There's another shad. Get 2 fish in the keep net. All right, I'm gonna actually just to see if gets any action out here. I'm gonna go ahead and try a little bit of bolo fishing, see if it actually gets a bite rate on this side of the river. Something on one of the spinners again. Yeah. Okay, so it's actually working out here then. I might try doing that, see if I can't get some float fishing gigs. Where'd you go? I think this rod is a little too big for this. Okay, this is a little awkward now. Let's like swing it into the boat to catch it. There we go. There's a sitchel. Yeah, getting a little bit bigger on the ponic shads. It does seem like if you have access to fishing with live bait or dead fish, the sturgeon and catfish can be pretty good here. Fortunately, I did not have access to those, so not this particular spot, but like this hole and like the three really deep holes seem to be pretty good for them. From at least what I was looking up when I was trying to figure out what the strategy on this river is. And I guess burbot are pretty good up here. Yeah, the beluga is the beluga is a type of sturgeon, I think, but yeah, the catfish here are like they're not like the big ones, they're like 6 or 7 kilo, but I think they can have a decent bite rate. So if you're just trying to catch some catfish but not looking for like the big monster ones, this would be a one to try out. Because it's also I think they've got the Amur catfish here. All right. I guess not. For some reason, I thought they had Amur catfish on this river as well. Yeah, I feel like if you're going to do the float fishing using drifting like this, probably need to go with one of the 4-meter rods, not this 7-meter monstrosity. It's only at Tunguska? Okay. I don't know why I was thinking I saw it on the list here. Are there still those Norwegian sea fish that were like on the poster but not in the game? Are there still some of those that haven't been added to the game yet? Are they all in place finally? Yeah, I can imagine. Of course, you could be like GTET and get one of those 175 kilo sturgeon on an HSV. Another sitchel. So there's only the crabs when they did that one patch. Okay. So I know someone was like mentioning early on that poster had a few species on there that weren't in the game that they were assuming would be added at some point. I don't know if all these updates have been happening lately, if any of those happen to add any of them. I guess they've all just been server maintenance. Some fish. And we've got about 40 seconds here. We've got our once per hour ad break. Type that in. There we go. It's just to prevent pre-roll ads for an hour, so we'll be fishing on through it. Yeah, it seems like they've been spottier than usual too. Like it seems like they've been doing a lot of unscheduled maintenance. But as long as they're working, that's the important. Where are we at on the river? We're about to come around the last bend here. I don't know what's been going on. I've been seeing a lot of people that are normally playing RF4. I've been seeing playing the Fisher online lately. So that one's one that I never really looked into. It seemed when I looked at it, it was like it seemed like it was like Fishing Planet but with less content. But for some reason, it's got a lot of people playing it right now that are normally RF4 players. Even M-Dog, I've noticed, has been on there a lot. I don't think he's been streaming it, but I've seen him on the Discord shows. He's playing that quite a bit. Like a helicopter going over the map or something I hear in the distance. There was a scandal where they like ripping players off or something. Oh, okay, it was like a political type of deal. Yeah, I really like. I think I looked at it like one time in Steam when I was playing um, Fishing Planet a couple years ago, and the screenshots just looked like it was like basically Fishing Planet. So I never gave it a try. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you got you're in a company with a controlled media, you're definitely going to have their controlled opinions most of the time. Get this back out towards the center of the river here. Go. Back to nighttime, which yes, it's gonna have a lower bite rate, but it is what it is. I'm sure there's probably another option that's good at night for drifting. Like maybe this is would be the time to use the three-way rig. Maybe. Yeah, haven't seen much news otherwise. I know Fishing Planet announced that they were doing their deep sea map, and I don't know if they gave like an estimated timeline for when it's supposed to release. Haven't I know Hunter Call of the Wild just released a new map for, so maybe the angler's going to get a new one soon. Who knows? Um, Otherwise, I haven't seen a whole lot of fishing simulator news pop up lately. Main thing is I just noticed that I've seen less people chatting in RF4 and been noticing people in the Discord playing Fisher Online. That's the only thing that brought it to my attention. Arcade simulators from the early 2000s. I don't think I've played any of them. Like I have some of the old console ones for like NES, SNES, stuff like that, but then didn't really play any of them until recent years, which would have been. I started with Fisher or Fishing Planet, played it for a little while in 2021, and then started on this a couple months ago. So I haven't tried any of the other ones really. I do have the Call of the Wild, the Angler, and at some point I'll probably give it a shot, maybe do some streams of it or something, but I just haven't gotten around to. I installed it at one point and they just never actually opened it up to play it. Which I think finding the right balance, arcade ones can have their place. It's kind of like with what I always say about Fishing Planet. I think the actual fish fights are much more arcadey on that, but I think that makes the actual fighting of the fish more engaging and enjoyable than, I mean, some of them on here, if you get like a really big fish on here, they're intense fights and really engaging, but a lot of them like this fishing I'm doing right now, it's just kind of like the actual fish fight is more or less non-existent. It's just hold the click in and right click at the end. All right, take it easy, gamer. Good seeing you. We'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll have some more good bite rate like I did earlier in the day here. So I'm gonna move over to the opposite side of the river now, since the current keeps taking me to shore. Go. Go ahead and remap this so I don't keep picking up the wrong rod on instinct. Alright, so let's take this off of here, this off here. That on slot 1, and that on slot 3. There we go. Now my muscle memory will work correctly. All right, so far, I mean, how many of these were, okay, so there's about 10 of these fish that were from last night that are expired, but otherwise 42, so that puts 48 fish, I guess, so far today, so that's not bad. And hopefully there'll be some cafe orders to fill. And that's 48 fish basically going from the front of the river down to here, so we'll get all the way down to the end, and then we'll turn them in and see what we get. Hope the summer weather's treating everybody well. It's been first day all week of sunshine here. It's been nothing but overcast or thunderstorms all week. Now everybody's mowing their yard today since the first sunny day, but I'm gonna let my yard actually dry out before I try doing that. I don't feel like getting my mower stuck in a bit of mud or something. So it seems like nighttime here on this river is maybe better to switch to doing feeder fishing or something, since spin fishing and drift fishing is not yielding many results. Ultimately, I think trolling seems to be the better option than drifting, but it's relaxing at least, and you get a lot of the river covered and gives you time. But and I guess if you actually want to do float fishing, you have to do it over trolling. All right, we got another little pontic shad there. Trucking on down the river here. Be nice if there was like an actual like wooden raft you could take for doing this. Be kind of neat immersive. Oh, I ran ashore, but got a fish on, so gonna reel that in. I guess I didn't have fish on. Thought I did. So it seems like on this eastern part of the river, drifting is not quite as good about keeping you off of the shoreline. It's not having this issue on the other side. So we're getting pretty close to the end of the run here. Got something on line 2. Another Xander, it looks like. Yeah, there we go. So at least things do bite on these at nights compared to like quarry. You can catch things trolling at night. It's not spectacular, but you catch up. The Volkov is just dead at nighttime if you're trolling. So it's nice to actually catch something here and there. Ultimately, I think if you're in it for XP or silver, Volkov is infinitely better than this, but I can see this being okay if you were using like ultralight tackle, getting that the ultralight tackle bonus. You could probably get some good spin fishing XP and general XP that way. Shore again. I think I'm just going to troll the rest of the way since this keeps happening. Make it down to the little ferry crossing line there, and then we'll quick travel back to the beginning of the map and see what the worth of all this is. I know the fish market's not going to be worth much, but if we can fill a few cafe orders, we might be all right. Yep, your chub. All right, just about to the end of the line here. Once we hit that ferry line wall, we'll go ahead and head back to the start of the map and hopefully get at least, if we don't have any cafe orders, this is probably only going to be worth like 50 silver or so, if that, maybe like 40. But hopefully we can fill a couple cafe orders and come out of here with 100 silver, which is pretty paltry numbers when you can go trolling Volkov or Quarry for a heck of a lot more. But we're not here for the efficiency of silver per hour. We're just here to relax and try some different things. All right, here we go. Doesn't look like anything's got on, so I'm going to go ahead and quit back to the menu and see how much these fish are worth and wrap things up. I'm just trying to an earlier time slot than usual tonight. Just trying to find some slots that reach some different viewers. See if we can find what time works. Because I know a lot of my regular viewers are quite a few hours ahead of me in time zone, so it ends up being around 3 or 4 a.m. for them when I stream. So I thought maybe I can try some earlier slots for them, maybe some little more respectable time zone. Let's see. Cafe. Do we have any orders we can fill in? Nope. Not as well. No, I don't think I need that big. Nope. Not a single cafe order, so this doesn't bode well. So this was a little over an hour of drifting. It still came out to close to 98 silver, so not as bad as I thought it would be. That chub was a good portion of it. Some of it is from last night, I guess. There's a few silver in that, but let's go by price. Chub, the eyed, and a couple of these made up most of it, but not getting any cafe orders definitely hurts. It's all right though. Still over doubled the amount of silver I had, so slowly building the old silver coffer back up. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and scoop some bait up and wrap things up here. Just some algae. That's a shame. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Hope everyone has a good rest of your weekend, some good fishing, and I will catch you all next time. Take it easy.